Hello and welcome to Principles of Microeconomics with me, Professor Rick. I am your instructor for this semester. Uh, Before the semester starts officially next week, I wanted to give you a very quick tour of some of the important tools that you want to have access to and that you want to use throughout the semester to get the most out of this class. So the first thing is Brightspace. So I've got that course shell open right now, and I've got it uh, hopefully looking like what it looks like for you. If you go to mylearning.farmingdale.edu, that's the simplest way to get there. This will take you to all your classes, and then for our class specifically, it'll be that'll show up on yours. It'll look a little bit different. Now, of course, this is all of our first semester using this system, so be patient. We'll try and figure this out together. One place that's going to be really helpful for asking, especially little questions, is a Discord server that I've set up for my classes. So for my Principles of Micro class, I've got a channel where you can share links, or you can ask questions, or you can talk to each other about the class. I also have off-topic channels, homework help. I've got areas here where you can set up a study group with your classmates. This is sort of a good place for informal interactions and probably the most natural place to ask questions about, hey, there's something weird going on in Brightspace or something isn't obvious to me. Someone help me with this. Cool. So Discord, I will have an invite link to our server posted on Brightspace in the near future. So then there's Brightspace itself. This is where we're going to do most of our work. So in here, it seems to do a very nice job of actually attaching stuff to the calendar. So far, I'm impressed with it. I think it's a lot better than Blackboard so far, but I've only been playing with it for a few days, so we'll see. But where most of the stuff is going to be on Brightspace is under this content button. So within content, we've got a few things here. Most of the content is under course content, but we have all of it together if you just hit table of contents, and we've got it, collapse all. We've got these few different sections. So start here. You're going to see this basically this week, and then you're not really going to see it the rest of the semester. So I'll end up moving that down out of the way. But check this out while we're getting ready. So this is going to help us to get into our next tool. We'll come to that in just a second to see if you're ready to do an online class, if you are in my online class. The more important stuff is under course information and especially under the syllabus. Now, I have to update the syllabus for this semester, but if you get in here right now, there's not going to be dramatic changes from the spring. So if you get there before I put up the new one, it's going to be roughly the same. All right, so the syllabus, the course policies, all of that stuff is important because if you don't follow the policies, you're going to miss out on opportunities to improve your grade. The students who tend to do poorly in this class tend to be the ones who don't syllabus. So make sure you check that out quickly. If you've got any questions about that, feel free to ask on Discord. If you're in my in-person class, we'll talk about it a little bit during the first day of class, some of the highlights, but this is where it all is. And then the content itself, under course content, this is going to organize your semester basically week by week. So in this case, actually not quite week by week, the modules are each week. I've assembled the modules into the themes. So we've got some introductory stuff, some of the very basics that we need to get out of the way before we can understand more complicated things like supply. Another module we're going to have up here, the midterm and the final exam. For that, we're going to need another tool. Let me make sure I'm closing stuff just so that I'm using my memory correctly. The tool we're going to use for our exams is the Respondus browser. You might have used this over the last couple of years, but on this web page for distance learning, if you just search on the Farmingdale website for Respondus, should offer you some links. Go. Respond is locked down. We'll give you a link that'll take you to this page. On this page, it has some details, some FAQs, overview about how to get it started. And here is the download link. My computer is not supported, but let me know if you run into problems like that. Send me an email or send me a message on Discord. The sooner you get this set up, the less technical problems you'll run into when it comes time. So that's another tool we're going to be using. And then the other big tool is our textbook and homework system. So the cheapest option for you guys is going to be Cengage. Go to Cengage.com, go to Students, Cengage Unlimited. You want this one, not e-textbooks, because we are using the MindTech homework plan. So if you don't do this, you're going to be missing out on the homework section of your grade, which is 40%, which you need to do this to pass class. So if you don't know if you're going to have Cengage textbooks in future semesters, then just go for the one term. But if you, for example, know that in the spring, you're going to be taking principles of macroeconomics, you're going to be using another Cengage textbook. So if you did the full 1 year Cengage Unlimited membership, that is what? $60 more, $65 more. Basically, instead of paying $125 a semester, $125 this semester, and then $65 for next semester. It's a good deal if you know that you're going to be getting this. If you know that you're going to be using another Cengage textbook. So, go into here, sign up with your Farmingdale account, create an account if you don't already have one, student account, put in your email, go through. I'm sure it's going to tell me that I already have an account. So the homework is going to be there. I'm going to try something a little different than what I usually do, is to include links directly to the homework in, keep wanting to say Blackboard, in Brightspace. So when we're in Blackboard, you should be able to click links into the homework and it will take you into our system. So here we've got our homework, and actually this is a great point for me to point out a little weirdness. So for example, our chapter 1 homework, we have 10 question sets, and each chunk of this you have 3 attempts, but you don't have 3 attempts for the entire thing. So to be strategic with your MindTap homework, what you want to do is you want to maximize each of these rows individually before you hit the I'm done grade assignment button. So for example, I'm just going to run through one of these with you. Hopefully the 1 point is short. So I'm going to throw in something totally random, right? So I got that one wrong. So let's go back and we will see back to this homework, chapter 1. So we'll see that I've got a 0 out of 1 for that. That's obviously not overall grade, but I have another attempt at this individual chunk. So let's try another version. Now also, I skipped this, but you saw that little explanation. If you're getting stuff wrong, read those explanations. There will also be references to parts of the textbook. MindTap is very good at holding your hand and sort of helping you get to the stuff that you need. All right, so let's take a look at this. Total cost of skipping practice and going to the movie, including the opportunity cost of time. All right, so you work as an assistant coach, earn $13 an hour. You decide to skip your hour-long practice and go to the movie theater instead. So you're paying $10 and you're missing out on $13. That should be $23 is our cost, right? Our cost is we got to pay to get into the movies, but we also give up the opportunity to earn $13. So I'm going to hit save and continue. We can look at the other ones. You're going to see this sort of format basically every week. And these are going to be due typically Sunday at midnight. Right now I've got the deadline just set to the end of the semester, but I'm going to move that to on a weekly basis. So let's come back to This looks like we've got an ungraded attempt here. So if we go back and we hit grade it now, we should get 1 out of 1. So notice that our attempts here, back to assignment, our attempts are averaged over those 3, right? So each chunk. So right now I've got 0.5. So I could be strategic here and do it again and bring that up to 0.67. Right now, you have to ask yourself, is it worth that to get that little bit? But this is a pretty easy question. Like, try another version. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see if I can get this. Before you start applying, full-time cashier earning $21,000 a year, you turn this down and attend your first year of college. The additional cost, including tuition supply and the cost of living far from home, is $32,000. You decide to go to college because, well, obviously you must value the experience greater than 32,000 you're spending plus the 21,000 you're. So you must be valuing it at least $53,000. Rate it now, and my average went up. It rounded up to 0.7. So that's what your homework is going to look like every week. There's also going to be reading assignments. And actually, you know what, as long as we're here, let's go ahead and talk about that. It's only been 11 minutes. So for these reading assignments, I've given you a very detailed explanation for the first one. I'm going to have to update this because these are Blackboard instructions. It's a good thing I took a look at this. So every week, you're going to have a reading assignment. The first couple weeks, it'll often be videos or essays online, and often we'll have videos in a playlist format, multiple videos. And what I want you to do is to watch them all together. I want you to watch first this one video, then this second video, and I want you to treat it as though it's one large video. And I want you to write about the overall both of those videos, right, of the total reading assignment for this module. So every week, this reading assignment, it's going to be basically about 2 paragraphs, although you can kind of change the format as you see fit. But I want to see a summary and I want to see a response. The summary should convince me that you did the reading. In this case, you watched the videos and you paid attention. And the response convinces me that you thought about it. So it might be something like, here's how I see that lesson apply to my own real life. Or here's something I didn't really agree with that I think is wrong. I want to push back. Very open-ended. There isn't a wrong way to do it except to go so far off topic that I'm not convinced that you actually did the reading. So summary, what's it about? Right? And what's the most important thing? I don't want an exhaustive summary. What's the big highlight? And some response to that big highlight. How does it connect to your own life? What's surprising? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? How does it tie into the textbook stuff? Right? However you want to approach. All right, so I don't want to go too far on beyond this. So let me just give a quick review of the things to look at, the big tools. Brightspace is our system for the class. Most of our stuff is going to be in there, although sometimes we will click into our external learning tool on Cengage. Cengage is going to be a very big, important thing. And again, like I said, you want Cengage Unlimited. That is the best deal, unless they changed it this summer. At least the last few years, it's been something like $120 to get Cengage Unlimited, or you could buy the Mind Tap for the textbook for $135. You pay more and get less. They really want you to get the Cengage Unlimited system, and that's in your best interest. So, right, with that, you have access to their whole catalog. We're only using the one thing in our class, but if you've got other Cengage textbooks in your other classes, it's definitely a lot cheaper. And then the other big thing is Discord. And so as you have questions, you could email me. My email is going to be in the syllabus, or you can just ask me questions on the Discord server, especially for short, informal questions that other people are likely to have. So you can see that I had some questions from the spring about Cengage also. So you can also kind of skim through previous questions, or you can search, has anything come up about MindTap, and see what has been written in the past. And so, for example, here I've got about how to do multiple attempts, like we just talked about a minute ago. All right, again, I'm Professor Rick. You are here for Principles of Microeconomics with me, either in person, in which case I will see you Monday night, or asynchronously online, in which case I will be seeing your homework through Brightspace, and I will hopefully be engaging with you on Discord. All right, good luck. I'll see you in the future.